Toga, 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 toga,
Hello and welcome to Billy Ho Sports. Today we're going to do the betting preview show for the Grade 1 Alabama and the Grade 2 Lake Placid Stakes at the Spa Saratoga this Saturday. We're going to go through the post positions, past performances, put together some good options to bet on, and hopefully we can get you narrowed down and save you some time. That's the whole point. So anyway, I do have my eye on a couple of other races too. So there's going to be a bonus video out for the pick 5. So be sure to tune in for that because it's coming up right next. So we're going to go through races 7 through 11 for the big Saratoga late pick 5 and see if we can't crush it. So we'll be on that, but this one's just going to be the 2 races. And so it should be a cool summer day. No weather factor, not even the too hot, sweaty horses sun. So it's going to be nice. And also be on the lookout for more videos down the road. I got my eye on several different other stakes races. The Del Mar Oaks is this weekend. The Phillip Island at Monmouth featuring Zozos, one of my favorites. May take a look at that. And leg 1 of the Canadian Triple Crown, which is called the King's Plate. And it used to be called the Queen's Plate until the old lady passed away. I found that very, very humorous that they changed the name of it after she passed away. So anyway, we got a king in England. Hooray for that. So be on the lookout for all that good stuff. And please, please, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Smash that like button and leave a comment. And let's get started. All right. So the Grade 2 Lake Placid, home of giant prehistoric crocodiles, or home of the Winter Olympics, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, it's a 1.16 miles on the inner turf, Grade 2 event. So we're going to start with the number 1 Heavenly Sunday, trained by Brad Cox, ridden by Tyler Gaffleone, and has hit the board all 6 of career races and has a few wins to show for it. Good looking filly. Now, looking at the track bias, I always like to do that first. So let's just jump down here and take a quick look. And because there is 16, I always check to make sure there's a decent sample size. 16 races is okay. So early pressing and early speed are, if you combine those two, they equal this pressing style. So pretty solid amount from the 4 through 7 post over 16 races. So not too awful bad, but it's still 16 races. So 38% is like 5 races or something like that, So anyway, back up to the number 1 Heavenly Sunday. Likes to be on the lead. Inside post helps. Tyler Gaffleone on the turf is always good thing to have. But I don't know if this one's got quite enough for the win. So I think it might be like the first out of the NCAA tournament. The number 2, I do like Chad Brown, Asprey. Flavian Pratt is the pilot. And it's Chad Brown. Enough said. Turf race. Chad Brown has to be considered. But seriously, really, really slow pace, especially second call, -24. And so was not able to close in this Belmont Oaks. And I'll probably bring this race up several times because prerequisite is in this race as well. So the 4th place finish, not great. But for a horse that presses and closes, it's really not going to help get her done. So like you said, a little bit much flip the pace. Let's put it that way. If you flip the pace, she's going to close. So that's the Hilltop. And anything in the middle, like she won the first 2 races with not much of with more neutrality, so to speak. So my favorite so far, Gloria Princess, number 3. Brendan Walsh is the trainer. Luis Saez is up. And let's see what they got about this one. Okay. Should be out on the lead early to give us an honest pace. That's what I like. a major leap in class, so the win's not likely. Her speed could surprise, is what my last note was. So possibly in the exotics for her. Next up is going to be tax implications. Chad Brown, another one. Manny Franco aboard, has to be considered. But I actually do like this horse. So this one, lesser likely, but I think has a shot. The past performances, it says speed figures rank poorly versus others, but I beg to differ. She's got 88, 89 improving in the last two. And there's not really, if you go through the past performances, there might be a couple of 90s, 91s. So I'm not really sure quite. Maybe the past, like the 71, I don't know. It's still mid 80s. It's been, this horse has improved every single race 71, 84, 88, 89. And moving up in class along the way. It's Chad Brown. I'm all about that. So this one's in for some value. Sorry, I don't have the morning line odds for you. They didn't have them yet. So, but I imagine this one's going to offer some value. So I'm definitely going to be interested in that. And the next up is the number 5 horse, Juniper Marshmallow. And that's Todd Pletcher trained. Jose Ortiz rides. Moving up in class. Been off for 8 months. I'm not really going to knock the speed figures, but it is a high percent trainer. But I believe I'll need to see one from her, so I'm going to pass. Soviet Excess is Todd Pletcher trained. Dylan Davis aboard. And beaten by weaker. This is a little bit weaker company, so those speed figures don't look as good to me. Been off for 56 days. The high percent trainer is about all I got, so I'm going to pass there. Surge Capacity is Chad Brown trained, ridden by Joel Rosario. 2 for 2 in her career and showed some speed. She cracked 90 in the second out in the grade 3 Lake George. So, this one's got my interest. Unraced at 2, so she might be ready to make the leap. This might be one of those horses that they sat at 2 and are just bringing along a little more slowly, but it's starting to hit its stride now. And so it could be threatening at more value. I like value. Here's Prerequisite. That's the one I was referring to earlier. Chad Brown trained. Irad Ortiz, number 1 jock. Excuse me. Aboard first in the prime power ratings, got all the good stars. Trainer, jockey, ran second, may improve at the shorter distance. That's the one I like the most, 1.25 miles. So it's cutting back because it didn't quite get there, right? And this was the one, the Belmont Oaks, the same race I talked about with the slower pace, 50, 116 for 116 for 3/4 of a mile. That's slow to me. So Aspen Grove runs her down, and Aspen Grove was like 15-1. So it was a bit of an upset. And I can't remember if Aspen Grove went on to do much. I want to say Aspen Grove didn't do well next out. So it wasn't like it exiting went on to win. So anyway, Prerequisite has to be considered, but it's kind of not all the way there for me. Now the rest of these are main track onlys, and looking at the weather, I don't see it moving off the turf. So I'm not really going to do too much on these, but keep an eye out for maybe undervalued asset. That's about it, really. So let's go look. I'm going to go make a bet here. And I promised you that I would do some different strategies. Check out the next video because that's going to be the late pick 5. Now, this one would begin. So what I'm looking at here, I know this is a lot to go over, but the 2 Asprey, the 4 tax implications, the 7 surge capacity, and the 8 prerequisite. And the 4 was in there as well. So that's tax implications. I think that one has a real shot to win. So I'm just going to start with an exacta, and we're going to do, let's see, 2, 4, 7, 8. And that would be a 4-horse box. Now, what I might do just to take a stand is toss a heavy favorite and add in the one underneath. There's lots of different things. 3/4 or box the 4 horses or box all 5. Those are some options. I generally like to do like a 3/4 or a 3/5 if I've got value in there, and I feel like the 4 tax implications. I feel like the 7 could offer some value as well. So hopefully that prerequisite will be heavily bet. If it's super heavily bet, like it gets under even money, it would be a toss in the pick 5 for me. There's certain rules to pick 5s. I was kind of doing my own research on it, but you always want to find a single, and you always want to try to toss favorites and do the opposite of what the other people are doing, which is like everything, but most people just can't do it. And I'm one too. So don't feel bad, but that's just kind of what I'm looking at here. Okay, this is going to be kind of a bonus closeout trifecta bet that I think might work out for $18 on the 50 cents. So what I'm going to do is do a 247 up top, which is Asprey tax implications and surge capacity. And then underneath that, I'm going to add in the 1. I believe that was Heavenly Sunday. And then prerequisite on the back end. So it'll be a 3/5 2 times. $18 bet. Not bad. I think that might return some value. So anyway, this is the first leg of the 2 videos I'm going to do. The next one, we're going to cover the late pick 5 and try to get some big bucks. So until then, see you soon.